All right, Shalom Akim. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Wahawah Chakadash, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to you, Akim, out there doing the work of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in true faith and sincerity. This is another live stream in which I titled, Who's Your Master? You know what I'm saying? Because you got, just like in the world, you got in the closet Christians, and just like in the truth, you got in the closet Hebrew Israelites. You know, they'll make a stand for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai when it's convenient for them, or when it suits their purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what Yahweh Shai had to say about the subject, and I'm gonna go to the book of Saint Luke, chapter 6, verse 46. It says, "And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?" And that's, you got that, like I say, people in the world claiming they love the Lord so much, and even, with guys that's in this truth. And they talking about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and yet they do not the things that the Lord, or in this case Yahweh Shai, says, And when you talk about lordship, you talk about, kings, because that's a name Jake like to throw around, kings and queens and all that shit. But when you talk about lordship and you talk about kingship, you're talking about it has to be a kingdom that goes with it. Hence the name king or lord. It has to be a kingdom that goes with it. And with that kingdom comes rules and laws. You understand? Laws, regulations, statutes, whatnot. There's a certain speech that goes with the kingdom. You're going to speak the language of the king. And there's certain things that go along with a Lord that must be, it has to be followed. You know what I'm saying? These things have to be followed. So like with us, for instance, being Hebrew Israelites, the language that we speak is this word. You know what I'm saying? Truth. Truth is the language. Right now, with us being spread to the four winds of the earth, talking about the Hebrew Israelites, you understand, that language of truth, it may be English, it may be Spanish, it may be French, Russian, whatever the case may be, because Jacob spread out. But when Yahweh Shai established his kingdom, right, we're going to be under one language. But right now, that language, for the sake of argument, that language is truth. And truth is the language of the kingdom. And unless you're dealing in truth and being truthful, like the Lord said, why callest me Lord, Lord, and do not the things that I say? And this whole book is full of the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, we are required to fulfill all these commandments. And in doing so, that obedience is a reflection of your faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And faith, how is it worded? Let me just read it real quick. Let me go here to Ephesians and bring this out real quick. Ephesians chapter 2, and going straight to the point. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So for by grace are we saved through faith. And just like James said, faith without works is dead. So what are your works? Your works, just to put it in a nutshell, is your obedience to this word. Going out on the highways and byways, that's a part of it. But there's also other things outside of going on the highways and byways, and that's why I'm bringing this up, because as I said, you got just, you have weekend Israelites, you got in the closet Israelites, they just Israelite on the keyboard or on the computer, but they never go out. But then you got guys that go out and they Hebrew Israelites for show. Well, that's the Lord's sentiment. Why you calling me Lord and you're not doing the things that I say to do? You're not being obedient. You know what I'm saying? That's going to come into question. And these are the things that 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5 is mentioning when it says, examine yourself. And when you go into that word examine and you go to the root of that word, which I forget it, but you brothers can look it up. And it mentions piercing. It says in the sense of piercing. And that's what you have to do when you examine yourself. You have to pierce that outer shell, that facade that you put up because, most people whether you in the truth or you not in the truth, most people have a face or a front that they have that or they put up in public. They have a public self, and then they have a private self. But we can get deceived by that public self. You got to pierce through that and take a real hard, good look at your soul and examine it next to this word to see if you're doing the things that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is required of you to do. If you have to take a real hard look at yourself and ask yourself, if Yahweh Shai came right now, would he be satisfied with me? Because you have to pierce through that. You have to pierce through that outer shell. So, that was the point in Ephesians. So, again, St. Luke chapter 6, verse 46, it says, "And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?" So, you can't claim that, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is your Lord and Savior, and you doing things that are contrary to his doctrine, doing things that are contrary to what he commanded us. Now I'm going to jump over to Romans chapter 6 and verse 16. It says, "Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness." And that's what Yahweh Shai, that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is looking for. He's looking for that obedience because that obedience, it spells out faith. Or it's a demonstration of your faith. You're not gonna be out there on the highways and byways being obedient, doing the thing, forgiving your brother, being brotherly, bearing the burdens of your brother, taking on, his infirmities, comforting the brothers. You're not gonna do all that if you don't believe. If you don't truly believe, and if your faith ain't firmly planted on this word, you're not gonna do all those things. You might be strong in some areas and weak in others, but eventually it's all gonna fizzle out because if it's not coming from a source of faith, it's not gonna last. You understand? It's not gonna have that what's that word? That longevity to sustain you through to the Lord's return. That enduring that we always talk about. He that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Well, without faith, you're not gonna have that ability to sustain these works. That's the key ingredient of this thing of ours, is faith. And that's what Yahweh Shai wants to see. But, he wants to see it in the form of obedience. Do what he say. If I'm your Lord, how you gonna claim that Yahweh Shai is your Lord, and just like the scriptures say, but you yielding your members over to sin. I say, soon as camp is shut down, you going out in the world. And Dick Gregory said something that was profound. He said that pretty much you can go anywhere around the world and you can recognize a hoe. You recognize a prostitute. She ain't got to tell you. You recognize her by, her anastrophe, her conduct, her dress, her speech. Just the overall way that she carries herself. But he said, I won't know someone's a Christian unless they tell me. And that speaks volume because, like I said, you got in the closet Christians just like you got in the closet Hebrew Israelites. And hey, it's a bunch of them amongst IUIC. And what I'm saying by that is, I mean that they seek to fit into the world. So you can't, how you gonna tell them? See, when you looking at a prostitute, and it's just an example that come to mind. You know what I'm saying? So don't get all caught up in it because I'm talking about prostitutes. I'm not, I'm not uh, comparing us to being prostitutes, but prostitutes are whores. They don't strive to fit into the world. They know who they are, they comfortable with it, and they go out and what do? They do a job for their master or their daddy or whatever the fuck they want to call him. They go out there for him to make him money. And it should be the same way when when you in this truth. Cause we go out there on the streets, we on the corners, we on them corners to get that money for our Lord, for our daddy, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And if you trying to, fit into the world, worry about how you look, who might see you while you out there doing it, you're not gonna be effective. And sooner or later you're gonna fall out. You're gonna be back in the world because that's really where your mind and your heart is. It's in the world. But that's what Dick Gregory was conveying is that, these Christians, they look more like the world. As opposed to these whores, these harlots, prostitutes, they don't give a fuck. And they don't care who see them. They out there, like I said, they know who they are, they know what they're out there to do, and they gonna do it. Regardless. And so it should be that way with the men of the Lord. We shouldn't give a fuck. The scripture tells us in Hebrews 4 and I believe it's 16 that we should come. Yeah, Hebrews 4 and 16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. That grace we're going to need, man, because as I just read Ephesians 2 and 8, for by grace are you saved through faith. And it's not of ourselves, it's a gift, but it says, let us come boldly unto the throne of grace. If that's what you need, we're going to need grace, so come boldly to it. We can't be trying to fit into the world and, be buddies with the world. And Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, made that perfectly clear. The friendship of the world is enmity with him. But you got guys calling themselves Hebrew Israelites. They trying to be, like I say, just look at IUIC, man. They edging up. They fit right into the world. They lined up. They trimmed their beards. Some of them got dreadlocks down past their shoulders. They look like the world. I mean, if you were just to see them, with minus the garments, minus the camp, just out in the world doing their thing, how would you know who the fuck they were? But we carry a certain vibration. When I say we, I'm talking about the men of the great millstone. We carry a certain vibration with us, and that vibration is the vibration of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. It don't come with a garment. It ain't about the fringes, and that's what they push. They got the, wear fringes on everything, because other than that, how would you know they Hebrew Israelites? We don't have to, there's nothing wrong with that, but we don't have to do that. Because our anastrophe, it speaks for itself, our conduct. You understand? Yeah, a hoe, she out there on the street, she bold, she not timid. The successful ones, the ones that bringing that loot back, they out there bold. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be like that. And we go out, what to say in the book of Proverbs. Let's grab that real quick. And let me grab it real quick. The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, it says, Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1. The wicked flee when no man pursue it, but the righteous are bold as a lion. And that's how we have to be. We can't concern ourselves with, trying to look like the world, fit into the world, We just different, man. We different. Let me go back. And we're supposed to be different. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to Romans chapter 6, again, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are, to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness. And that obedience, it does produce righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So verse 17, it says, but Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh shall be thanked, that ye were the servants of sin, but that ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered unto you. Ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine, thereby, being able to truly call Yahweh Shai your Lord. You understand? Because you being in obedience, and obedience unto righteousness. So it says again, but Yahweh be thanked that ye were the servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered you. Being then made free from sin, ye became the servants of righteousness. So, verse 19, I speak after the manner of men, because of the infirmity of your flesh, for as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanness, and to iniquity unto iniquity, even so now yield your members servants to righteousness unto holiness. For when you were the servants of sin, you were free from righteousness, and so now, we're the servants of righteousness. So, let me read on. It says, verse 21, what fruit had ye then in those things whereof you are now ashamed? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We had our conversation in the world. We all did. We did some shit we're ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? But right, it didn't produce anything. It produced death. The end results, if we didn't come into this truth full-heartedly, the end result would be death, which is what the end of this chapter goes into. But let me read on. It says, verse 22, but now, being made free from sin and become servants to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, ye have your fruit unto holiness, and the end everlasting life. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai is eternal life through Yahweh Shai, our Lord. So, right, hey, for us to be the servants, true servants of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we have to do the things, being in obedience, the things that are commanded of us. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I was going into a few minutes ago, you can't be a Hebrew Israelite and try to fit into the world. We don't fit into this world. No matter how hard you try. If you truly a servant of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, hey, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And like I said, that's what you're supposed to do. Because this, I'm going to go to the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 5. It says, now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me, above all people, for all the earth is mine. You see that? If you obey, if you do the things that the Lord say, and not just giving him lip service, talking about Lord, Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shabbarakatah, all that. But yet you yielding your members to unrighteousness. It ain't gonna work that way. But only when you truly in obedience. Again, now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed, and his voice comes in the volume of this book. Not only the Torah, not only the Old Testament, or not just the New Testament, but the volume, the entire volume of this book is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai's voice. So it says, now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Now, what does it mean to be peculiar? Just a few definitions. It means to be strange, to stick out. Again, referring back to that whore on the street corner. She don't fit in. Like I've been saying, she wouldn't be effective if she fit in. She has to stick out. But she's her pimp's treasure. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same with us. If you're going to be effective in your ministry unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, you can't fit into this world. You got to stick out. You know what I'm saying? Brothers put mysterious. You know, we got to be all that. It should be a certain mystique about you. People should scratch their head and wonder, what's going on with that dude? You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to fit into this world. We're to be peculiar treasure, strange, weird, you know, contrary. That's what makes us valuable. You know, we're not of this world. So, man, hey, shalom to you brothers, man, for tuning in. I just really had a few words, man, I wanted to say, man. I always run long. I always end up running longer than what I expect, but, you know, it be like that when you get in the spirit, you know what I'm saying? So shalom to you out there, man. Brothers putting some bangers on there, man. Some powerful scriptures. But the brother Thamyah Mahar, he posted Romans chapter 2, verse 29. In the King James, it said, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, you know. And that's what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? It said, in the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that's, you know, that's sums it up beautifully, you know. It ain't, you know, so much as what we gon' being, you know, being a Hebrew Israelite with, you know, you got matching garments, you know, everybody the same garment. And you wearing fringes on your drawers, your boxers got fringes, you got a wife beater with fringes, all that madness. That ain't what being a Israelite. It said Jew, but you know, that's not what being an Israelite is all about. It's what's in you. And what's in you should emanate outwardly, man. Toward the brother, even, you know, first and foremost toward the brotherhood, the brethren, but even amongst people you deal with. The scripture tells you that. If it all live peaceably with all men. It also says that, you know, so that we don't bring blame, I'm loosely paraphrasing, that we don't bring blame to the gospel, that we, you know, we carry our conversation in this world. We carry a perfect conversation among people. So in other words, you know, we're not out in the world being niggas so that they say, oh man, you know, you don't want to get involved with them because they just a bunch of niggas. You know, and where the gospel takes the hit. No, you behave yourself seemingly. It says amongst them that are within and them that are without. You know, meaning the people in the world, them that are without, the profane. When you handling your business in the world, you know, you going to work, you at the grocery store, whatever you may be doing, you're not out there just being a nigga, you know, but you show forth that image of Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, that's within you, you know, because it's in you. You know what I'm saying? So, and Khan, brother Thamyah Mahar, that's right, brother. You go to peculiar, it also means a personal, one's own property or personal property. Yeah, that's right, brother Khan. So, yeah, man, let me see here. Oh man, GMS Yabataza. He posted, I ain't even gonna try Yachazak Kwala. Matthew 5, he posted Matthew 5:16. It said, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. And that's what it's about, man. You know, we carry our good works with us, not just out on the block, you know, when the camera go on, but every day in your day-to-day walking life, so that, you know, people will see you and they might be like, man, you know. But ultimately, you know, the praise goes to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know? So, yeah, man, hey, appreciate you brothers for tuning in, man. I know the apostles, they should be on, man. So you brothers check out the apostles. I don't know if they still doing the live stream or not, you know, but I know I know they about to go live, or they about to do their thing. So you brothers check out the apostles, man. Yeah, hey, the water for the beautiful scriptures, Akyam, and like I said, the water for the support, man. Yeah, hey, you brothers stay up, man. All y'all, man. And again, Kyle Halal, Wahaf Rath, you know, Yahweh, Wahakadash, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessing to you, Akyam, out there doing the work of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, and true faith and sincerity. So till next time, shalom, man. You brothers stay up.